Losing strength after 60 isn't a failure. It's a quiet fading. Not overnight, not dramatic. But one day, you reach for something and it's not there. Today, we're not working out. We're remembering how movement used to feel. Most people think exercise after 60 means strain, pushing, trying to act younger than we feel. But real strength, the kind that protects, holds, and lifts you from within, doesn't come from intensity. It comes from rhythm, from remembering movements that built you once, and might still be waiting to return. Today we'll explore 5 gentle exercises, no weights, no floor mats, no shame, that help you rebuild balance, blood flow, and trust in your body from the ground up. Let's begin. 1. Wall scapular, squeeze. You probably don't think about posture until something aches. The shoulders round, the neck stiffens, the chest feels smaller than it used to, and slowly, without realizing it, you stop breathing fully. But posture was never about looking proper. It was never for photo frames or etiquette books. Posture is space, space for air to arrive. When the spine slumps and the chest caves, you're not just leaning forward. You're closing off the very rhythm that fuels your brain, your heart, your energy. That's why this first movement matters so much. Wall scapular squeezes don't ask you to force anything. They ask you to remember. Try this. Stand with your back against a wall. Let your heels, hips, shoulders, and head find their way into the surface. No strain. Tuck your chin slightly. Slowly pull your shoulder blades down and inward, like you're tucking 2 soft wings back home. Hold for 5 seconds. Breathe in. Release gently. Repeat 10 times. It won't feel like a workout. It'll feel like something clicks open, as if a forgotten part of your body whispers, "Thank you. I can breathe again." Do it daily, not to stand straighter, but to let your lungs stand a chance. Because what left you was never strength. It was space. 2. Glute bridge. You don't need to stand up to start standing stronger. Sometimes healing begins by lying down, not in surrender, but in trust. The glute bridge is one of the few movements where you rebuild power with your spine still on the floor. It targets the hips, lower back, and core, quietly waking up the places that once helped you carry groceries, step over curbs, and rise from couches without thinking twice. But what most people don't know is this. Seniors who practice glute bridges 3 times a week reduce their risk of falling by 38%. Without standing, jumping, or straining. No gym, no shoes, just you, the floor, and a breath. Try this. Lie flat, knees bent, feet hip width. Let your arms rest by your sides. Press gently into your heels. Slowly lift your hips. Don't force it. Pause at the top for 1 breath. Lower with full control. Repeat 2 to 3 sets of 8 reps. At first, you might shake. You might barely lift. That's not weakness, that's reconnection. Each rise is not just a motion, it's a message. I still remember how to hold myself. Some people say this is for the glutes, but ask anyone who's felt themselves catch balance after weeks of trying, and they'll tell you. This move gives strength back to the parts of you that feared they were forgotten. And sometimes, the safest way to rise is by learning how to push from where you are. 3. Supported squat. You don't need to fall, to feel like you're falling behind. Sometimes it begins in smaller ways, holding the handrail just a bit tighter, choosing chairs with arms, avoiding stairs, even when the elevator is slow. It's not always pain that causes this, it's hesitation. A quiet voice inside that asks, "What if I can't get back up?" But your legs haven't forgotten how to carry you. They've just been waiting for you to move with permission instead of pressure. The supported squat isn't a test of strength. It's a way to rebuild your relationship with gravity. The descent isn't defeat, it's a choice. And each time you choose to lower yourself gently, you reclaim a piece of your independence. Here's how you begin to trust the ground again. Stand facing a countertop, table, or wall. Place your hands lightly for support. Feet hip-width apart, slightly turned out. Engage your lower belly. Slowly bend your knees, shift your hips back, like tapping a chair you trust is there. Only go as far as feels steady. Halfway is fine. Rise slowly, breathing out. Repeat 8 to 10 times, rest between sets. The first time might feel awkward, but the second time, you'll notice your thighs remember. And each rep isn't just strength returning, it's decision returning. You're not stuck in place. You're choosing movement on your own terms. This isn't exercise. It's reclaiming the right to sit, to rise, and to choose when. 4. Calf, raise. Some muscles fade quietly. They don't ache. They don't scream. They just disappear from your awareness, like your calves. You used to rise without thinking, onto tiptoes, to reach a shelf, to look just a little taller when standing proud. But over time, you stop asking them to help, and they stop offering. What follows is subtle, tingling, cold feet, slight swelling at the end of the day, a slower return of blood to the heart. And one day, you realize your lower legs are quiet, but quiet doesn't mean lost. It just means waiting for a gentle call back. That's what the calf raise does. It doesn't demand, it reminds. Let the movement start like this. Stand behind a chair or counter, rest your hands softly. Feet parallel, hip width apart. Gently lift your heels, rise onto the balls of your feet, hold for 3 seconds. Lower slowly, heel by heel. Breathe out at the top. Breathe in as you land. Repeat 3 sets of 10. Take pauses. Let it flow. When you're ready, close your eyes for the final 2 reps. Let your body relearn balance from the ankles up. This isn't strength training, it's direction training, for blood and trust. With each lift, you're not building bulk, you're rebuilding connection. One quiet pump, one drop of confidence returned, one step closer to the ground. That still knows your name. 5. Grapevine Walk. You've been walking your whole life, but something changed. Now, it's slower, more cautious. You think before each step. You scan the ground, your hands tense just in case. It's not just your legs, it's your brain saying, "Are we still sure we can do this?" The Grapevine Walk isn't flashy, but it's one of the most powerful ways to reconnect movement with awareness. Because when your legs cross over one another, your brain doesn't just balance. It calculates, corrects, and awakens. It says, "I know where I'm stepping. I know how I'm moving. I'm here. Try this." Stand near a wall or counter. Step 1 foot to the side, cross the other in front of it. Then step again to the side, cross the next foot behind. That's 1 cycle. Take 6 steps in each direction. Go slow. Add a soft arm swing if you're steady. Want more challenge? Count backward out loud while walking. Each crossover lights up neural pathways, trains coordination, and even improves cognitive processing speed. You're not just training balance, you're training your brain to trust movement again. And that is independence. So next time you walk across the room, feel the ground. Notice your hips. Feel your arms relax. You're not shuffling anymore. You're crossing back into presence. 1 step over, 1 step in, back to yourself. When did movement stop feeling like freedom and start feeling like fear? It wasn't the pain, it was the pause, when your body stopped being sure of itself. But deep down, movement still remembers, not to chase, not to prove, just to rise, walk, and stay steady. These aren't workouts, they're small returns to a body that's always wanted to carry you, gently. So move, not to get stronger, but to trust yourself again. Comment reclaimed. If even one of these movements made you breathe softer today, share this with someone who's stopped moving, not because they can't, but because no one reminded them they still can. And next, 3 daily habits that quietly steal, strength after 60, and how to reverse them. Because healing doesn't start at the gym. It starts the moment you choose to move, with care. The floor hasn't left you. Your strength hasn't either. Let them meet again, in quiet, steady steps. Share it in the comments.